What is going on, my beautiful people? Today we are going to be taking a look at the Hikeep MA-T. Now this is a moped style e-bike with front and rear suspension and two motors, making this thing an all-wheel drive system. The current listing price is $999, but if I have a discount code, it will be in the description. So in this video, we are going to be reviewing the MA-T, and we're going to be going over the specs, taking it for a test ride, doing some speed runs, going off-road with it to see its capabilities. We're going to do a hill climb test, and we're going to do a brake test. But before we do any of that, we got to jump to the unboxing. I'm liking the foam on the sides to protect the frame, and then this right here to lock in that wheel. That's some good packaging. Good job, Hikeep. So I can't see much right now because of all the foam, but I am digging the matte black paint. Looks clean and simple. Okay, so as you guys already know, we always got to start with our box of goodies, which looks like it's going to be right here. Okay, we got our pedals, our user manual, a set of tools, a foot pump, and our headlight. Oh, heck yeah. This headlight was on our other Hikeep bike, and I absolutely loved it. It is super bright, and the ring light around it just looks so cool. Not ring light, I meant the halo. It just reminds me of a ring light. Got another tool and some zip ties. And here we have our charger. This is going to charge our battery all the way up to 54.6 volts, and it is a 2 amp charger. Our battery is going to be a 15.6 amp hour pack, and if you divide that number by 2 amps from the charger, it should take about 7.8 hours to charge from 0 to full. So we're just going to leave our charger here for now, and next up we're going to try to get that battery out so we can get it charging. And here's our battery. Now we got to get the keys to unlock this thing. And that's usually going to be on handlebars. Yep. Looks like we have 2 sets of keys. One's going to be our ignition, and the other one's going to be to unlock our battery. Bam! We got her out. Our battery says 15.6 amp hours and 740 watt hours. For a dual motor bike, this is slightly on the smaller side, but that's the trade-off, right? Because the price is pretty affordable compared to other dual motor bikes. So let's get this battery charging, and then we're gonna finish working on the bike. We got a nice long saddle here. We might be able to fit 2 people on this. Maybe. In terms of assembly, this is gonna be pretty standard. Looks like we're gonna have to put on the handlebars, the pedals, the front wheel, and the front fender, and then the headlight. I think that's pretty much it. It always makes me really happy when I see that the taillight is already pre-installed. That little gesture is very appreciated. Alright guys, I'm gonna get working on this bike. If anything interesting pops up, I'll update you guys. But for now, I'm just gonna work on it, and I'll see you guys back at the review. Welcome back, sexy people. Let's take a quick look at the aesthetics of the bike. What do you guys think? It looks almost like a dirt bike, huh? It's like a blend between an e-moto and a regular moped style bike. You know, they actually have a dirt bike version of this bike. That one's gonna give you more power and more speed. This thing looks pretty dang aggressive to me. It'd be pretty cool if they came out with more colors. They only have this one in black, and they have the dirt bike one, I think, in white also. But you can't go wrong with black. It's just super clean. It's not a huge bike, so it's gonna be fun to whip around. Alright, let's go over the technical specs now. Starting down low, we have 180mm rotors front and rear, paired with hydraulic brakes. The brand is called Ride. I've tried these before, and they have felt very good. The tires we're running are going to be 20 by 4 inch fat tires with some knobby tread. I do love me some fat tires. This is going to give us such a comfortable ride, especially because we also have front and rear suspension. In the middle of our wheel, we have our front motor. It says 750 watts, 48 volts. So we're going to have one in the front and one in the back, and they're going to be identical. Each hub motor peaks at 1,500 watts. So that's a combined power of 3,000 watts. 3,000 watts for the price point of $1,000? That is amazing to me. I believe the bike should hit around 30 miles per hour, but we're gonna test that out later. And we're gonna do a giant hill test. Above our wheel, we're gonna have a plastic fender. And above that, we have our headlight with turn signals. This is what the front headlight looks like in the garage with no lights on. This is the turn signals. And yeah, you can have both running at the same time. It's pretty much like if you have your emergency lights on. This is what the headlight looks like against the wall. On, off, on, off. It is actually very bright. And the spread is pretty good. I don't think you have any trouble seeing at all. Yeah, this light is really nice. Our headlight is going to be attached to our front forks. And these do offer suspension. They're actually inverted forks. So inverted forks are going to be more robust and sturdy than the normal forks we usually see. There are no adjustable knobs on these forks, but they do feel pretty good. The forks feel really good. I think we're getting about 2 inches of travel. Moving up to our handlebars, we got some rubber grips. They feel very grippy. Right over here, we have our switch. There's a button to turn on our lights, our turn signals, and our horn. That has a medium loudness to it. You'll get the attention of pedestrians and cyclists, but I don't know if cars will be able to hear it. Right here we have our hydraulic brake levers. They also say Core Ride, and they feel really good. It feels like you're just hitting a wall, which is how it should be. You don't want none of that squishy stuff. We got a little keypad over here to go up and down on the pedal assist levels. This button right here that says RF, it lets us toggle back and forth between our rear motor or dual motor. There is no front motor option, so it's just going to be rear motor or all-wheel drive mode. And then we got our power button and an I button for information. The I button, which pretty much stands for information, it gives us some information down here on our display. It does show us our voltage. I like that a lot because it's going to be way more accurate than reading the battery percentage or the battery bars. It also shows us our wattage that we're pulling. That's pretty cool. So yeah, if we move on to our display, we have a nice colored display. We got our battery bars, our miles per hour, our pedal assist modes, and a little bike right here with flashing wheels. That shows us if we're using the rear motor or both motors. On the right side over here, we have our standard 7-speed Shimano shifter, which we probably won't use because we have 2 motors working for us. Usually having a shifter is really nice when you want to pedal, but on this bike with 2 motors, yeah, I don't think we're going to be pedaling much. And then next to our shifter, we have a key ignition switch and our half twist throttle. Coming down to the frame, we have our battery pack. This is 48 volts, 15 amp hours. The listing online says we can get over 30 miles of range. I think if we're not riding super aggressive and we're riding more relaxed and maybe even doing pedal assist, we can reach 30 miles. But if we're using both motors and going high speed, it's probably going to cut that almost in half. And you'll probably get closer to 15 to 20 miles. So yeah, this bike isn't really going to be a range monster, but they do offer options where you can buy a second battery pack if you want. In my opinion, this bike will shine if you have a shorter to medium length commute. But within that commute, if you have a lot of hills and slopes, that's where these 2 motors are going to shine. Moving on to our seat, we do have a nice long saddle. You can probably fit a second rider on here. You might be a little squished, but in a pinch, you can do it. The only thing is that they're going to be dangling their legs because there's no pegs. But every now and then, if there's an emergency, you can give someone a lift. The recommended rider height is going to be from 5'6" to 6'3". I'm 5'6" with a 28-inch inseam, and I can almost completely flat foot the bike. So if you're a bit shorter than me, you can probably still fit the bike, but you'll be more on your tippy toes. Below our seat, we're going to have 4 shocks. If we come on around, we have our tail light. This is also our brake light, and it has turn signals. This is what the rear tail light looks like in the garage with no lights on. This is the brake light when you hold down the brake levers. You hold it down, you let go. Hold it down, you let go. And this is the turn signals. And just like the front, you can have both going on at the same time to create like a emergency light. Coming around the bike, we have our derailleur guard, our derailleur for shifting gears, and our 7-speed freewheel. And then last but not least, we have another motor in the rear, and that's going to be the same exact one as the front. So that's going to be it for the specs. Let's go take this thing on the road and see how it really performs. All right, y'all, we are outside in the Hikeep MA-T, and we are currently on level 1. We're going about 13 miles per hour. Let's go level 2. By the way, this is on the single motor mode. So we're gonna do our speed test on one motor first. So it looks like level 2 is 17 miles per hour. Level 3, ooh, there's a nice little kick right there. Level 3 is at 21, 22. We just saw 22 miles per hour. The display is a little bit slower than the GPS. Let's go to the big street, get up to level 4. Keep it climbing, keep it climbing. Level 4 looks like it's gonna be 26 miles per hour. Once I pass that red light, we'll do a true top speed test on level 5 with one motor. Okay, let me pull over to the side right here. We're going to level 5. Okay, we're gonna do speed test number 1, one motor. 3, 2, 1. $15, $17, $18, come on, $20, $21, let's go. Keep it going, keep it going. Oh, we're at 26, 28, 29. Can we see 30? Oh, we saw 30. Nice. So 30 miles per hour is the top speed with one motor. I suspect that it might be the same with 2 motors, but we'll just get to top speed a lot faster. Okay, we're on level 5. I'm gonna press this little button on the keypad, and now we got both motors turned on. Both wheels are blinking. So let's start the speed test in 3, 2. You know what? I'm gonna wait for these cars to pass. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Some burnout. Did you guys hear that? It's 29, 30. What if I tuck? Oh, we saw 31. 31 for a split second. So it looks like 30 miles per hour is gonna be our top speed. We saw 31 for a split second, but I'm not gonna count it. But man, there's so much more torque with both motors. I mean, that's obvious, right? We're gonna go ahead to the train tracks first to test out the suspension, and then we're gonna go to Signal Hill and test out our hill climbing capabilities. And here we are. So right here in front of me is a dirt path, and further down it gets quite bumpy. So this is where I like to go test out my suspension. So we're about to go into selfie mode. Alright, so this is what it looks like when I'm pedaling. My legs are pretty bent. I can scoot back to extend my legs more, but then my arms gotta reach pretty forward. And I got short arms. Check out the front suspension right here. Solid. The inverted forks work pretty good. It's not the most comfortable bike to pedal, but you know what? You don't really buy this type of moped style bike to pedal. Let's be real. If you get this, you're just gonna use the throttle the whole time. Don't lie to me. I already know. I'm not sure why they need 4 springs on there. Maybe it's a marketing thing, but at least they compress, you know? So I'm gonna go off selfie mode so I can just rip it across this dirt. Okay, I'm gonna go back to level 5 and dual motor mode. And since we're on dirt, you guys are gonna hear some crazy burnout right now. All right, here we go. So much burnout. Oh man. Woo, woo, woo. Whee! still got some water over here, so gotta be careful. Don't want to slip out and fall into this water. We haven't even had any rain. Where's this water coming from? The front suspension feels amazing though. Definitely one of the better forks on e-bikes. The forks that go on e-bikes are actually like normal bicycle forks, but these are the inverted types, so they're a bit more, I would say, sturdy. They're a bit more sturdy. All right, so we're done with our dirt test. Now we're gonna go head to Signal Hill, and we're gonna go climb the biggest hill in my area. Hey guys, it is another day, and if you guys didn't notice, my speedometer actually stopped working. Yeah, I think it stopped working when I was riding around the train tracks area. You can rewind it and you can notice that the speedometer just shows 0, 0. I'm not sure what really happened, so I went home and I took the seat out so that I could see what was going on with my wiring. After I checked all the wiring and everything was looking good, nothing was wrong with it. And it was still showing 0, 0. And I left it overnight, and the next day it started working again. So it's kind of strange. So if I tilt the bike over on the side, see, it's working again. So weird. So I'm gonna head back out so we can do the hill test, and hopefully the speedometer stays working. So we are back on the road. I'm not sure what happened earlier, guys. Usually when something works and then it stops working, that's a sign that there's probably a loose wire. Somewhere along the line, the connection is bad. After I unplugged everything and plugged it back in, it was still showing me 0, 0. So I left it alone, and then the next day, it started working again. So freaking weird. Anyways, let's just hope for the best. Okay, so the display is acting up again. My GPS speedometer shows 27, 28, and the screen is going crazy. Right now it's showing 3 miles per hour. Now 0. What is going on, man? The other functions work. I can switch from single motor to dual motor just fine. And I can still control the speed levels too. So strange. All right, guys, we made it to Signal Hill. This is the steepest hill in my area, and there's a white SUV that's about to climb it. You guys can see. It's like climbing up a wall. It's not super long, but it is very steep. For your reference, an e-bike with one 1500 watt motor that peaks at 2000 could not make it up there. Usually dual motor e-bikes that peak at 3000 watts can make it at like 9 to 12 miles per hour. So we're gonna tackle this and see what this bike has got. Oh, interesting. Now the display has shut off on me. Huh. Let me see if I can just turn it back on. Turns back on. I wonder if the speedometer is going to start working again. No, still showing 0. Okay, we're on level 5, dual motor mode. We'll wait for these cars to go. And let's get it. Okay, we're at the base of the hill. And now we're about to start the climb. Come on, come on. We're at 21 miles per hour, 20, 18, 17, 16, 14, 13. Can I make it? This is the hardest part. Oh, we got it, guys, we got it. Nice. So we were able to make it all the way up. When the bike wants to work, it works pretty well. So we're just gonna keep climbing all the way up, and I'm gonna show you guys how high we climbed. It's almost sunset. Almost, not quite yet. maybe in like an hour or two. Usually on the weekend there's a lot of people here. And there is a lot of people. Alright guys, this is how high we climbed up. We are on top of the world. It's actually looking very smoggy today. I wonder why my allergies have been acting up. Okay, we're gonna head on out of here and head to the mall. That's where we're gonna do our brake test. It seems like companies have started a trend of doing these like budget dual motor bikes. They don't come with huge batteries, but they come with 2 motors. And I think they're targeting an audience that maybe their commute isn't super long, but they got like a lot of hills. I think there's a lot of people out there that have commutes that are 20 miles and less, but they might have like a hill or 2 in the way. And having a bike like this where it's in the low 1000s is gonna be really nice for that situation. Oh man, the bike shut off on me at the light. Gotta go to the sidewalk. Come on, man. I was pretty much waiting with traffic and the light turned green. I hit the throttle. I got nothing because the display turned off on me. See, I'm coming to a light right here, right? And I feel like in these situations where I'm not on the throttle, this is where the screen could potentially turn off on you. All right, we made it to the mall. So here's the name of the game. We're gonna ride at around 25 miles per hour. Once we get to this line by the red Mustang, I'm gonna hit the brakes and see how many car spaces it takes to come to a complete stop. For your reference, 1 to 2 is pretty much impossible to land. 3 to 4 is really good. 4 to 5 is average. And 6 and above means that you're probably gonna die and you need to change your brakes. The mall's pretty busy right now, so hopefully we can do this test. Okay, here we go. Hikeep MA-T brake test, let's go! It's 22 miles per hour. Come on, get up to speed, get up to speed. And brake. All right, did we reach 25? I think we might have stopped at 24. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 parking spaces. Pretty good, not bad. Okay, so I'm gonna head back right now and then we're gonna just go over my thoughts. All right guys, we made it back. I think any bike that is dual motor and around $1,000, I think there's a lot of potential. At that price point, usually the bike will come with a smaller battery, so it's not going to be a range monster. But having dual motors means that you'll be able to climb up any hills. Right now, the current listing price for this is $999. So if I have a discount code, it's even lower than $1,000. So in my opinion, there's a lot of potential with this bike, but the speedometer is not working correctly, and the bike shut off on me at a light. So that's something that they got to look into and see what's going on. Aside from the display, the only other thing I didn't really like was that the seat felt like it was kind of slanted a little bit. It puts me into a position where I lean forward and into the bars. And if I'm riding for a while, my arms can get a bit tired. But yeah, this bike has a lot of potential being dual motors and at the price point of $1,000 and less. So hopefully they can figure out what's going on with that display. If you guys are interested in checking out the Hikeep MA-T, a link will be in the description. If I have a discount code, it will also be there. I'm gonna end this video here. If you guys have any comments, leave them down below. Please give this video a thumbs up and a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.